Welcome. Thanks everyone for joining us today. It's so good to see you. And I look forward to hearing more about the story and what's happening in your little part of Texas.
Well, thank you, Lit.
Yeah. Why don't we start? If you could just everyone introduce yourselves, that would be great.
Okay, so I'm Virginia Brooks. I work with Master Key Ministries. Master Key is the sponsor of Getting Ahead in Grayson County, which is in the north part of Texas. And I am the coordinator for the Getting Ahead program.
My name is Trisha Wilson. I'm co-facilitator and graduate of the first class that we had here in Grayson County and have continued on for the past 12, 13 classes.
I'm Allison Keller, and I am a graduate of 2022 of Getting Ahead. I am an assistant to the coordinator for the food.
And I'm Marcia Gaddis. I'm a graduate of Getting Ahead class of 2018. I'm assistant of the Getting Ahead class of the co-facilitator.
For staying ahead as well.
Okay, good. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later. So, Virginia, I don't know if you or someone else wants to talk a bit about the history. Tell us how you came to even learn about the curriculum and just a bit more about what's happening.
We'll take it about that first. Okay, so, Lynn, back in probably 2012 or so, I came to the Bridges Out of Poverty Certification Program, fell in love with the program, came back up here to Grayson County in Texas, and met with Julie Rickey, who is the executive director of Master Key Ministries. And we soon realized that the Getting Ahead program was perfect fit for what Master Key does, which is empower families and bring them resources. So Julie and I started knocking on doors, and a couple of years later, we started our program. We had our first class in 2017. So far, as Tricia said, we had 13 classes. We have our 13th class running now. We have graduated right at 100 people. So that's our history.
Wow, that's amazing. Good. Well, I'm anxious to get to know everyone else, and I would love it if someone would share their story, or all of you share your story, if you can, in a few words. Talk about really your experience with Getting Ahead.
So I've been here for all 13 classes. I started out in 2017 homeless and within the domestic violence shelter. Since then, I found housing and became more stable. I started college right after. It was one of my goals for Getting Ahead. So I started on my first one, and now I'm working on my master's of social work program.
Congratulations.
I have moved into an apartment with Getting Ahead, and I started my own lasagna business, which is called The Lady Lasagna. And I have written a book, and my book is due to be published this year. And I now am financially stable, saving quite a bit of money every month. I have a part-time job also that Getting Ahead helped me find.
Great.
She's our star networker, by the way.
Yes, for me, I've learned so much information and have become so empowered with getting out of poverty and using the tools that I've learned. I have raised my 5 kids. They have all graduated while I have graduated from this program. Also, I have learned different parts of the community that help with resources. And I did one thing that I've always wanted to do, and that was to get a savings account. And I'm so, so happy that I learned that through this program of how to, little steps at a time, to get a savings program going for myself and my family.
Good. Makes you feel like you have a little bit of a cushion, huh? When you've got that savings account. Yeah. So, Virginia, maybe you can answer this, but talk about how the funding has come in for your classes. I'm always asked that. So I like to ask that to everyone else.
Well, when Julie and I first started going around the community trying to find sponsoring organizations, our first funder was Texoma Council of Governments, which is a public-private cog here, and they actually picked us up. What they said was that they had a lot of money, but they had to prove not only that they were meeting immediate needs, but that they were empowering people to get out of poverty. And we were at that time just about their only program that addressed that empowerment. So they took us on, and for several years they paid all the expenses for our program. Since that time we have moved Getting Ahead into Master Key Ministries. TCOG continues to provide our materials and be a big support, because a lot of our people go into their case management programs for utilities and housing and things like that. But so TCOG remains with us, but the majority of funding now comes through either grants from foundations or donors, but general donations by individuals to Master Key who support us, and we that basically Julie Ricky knocks on doors and raises the money. That's how it happens.
You need those people. You need those.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Are you providing the Bridges workshop as well, so that people are understanding?
Yes, we are. We haven't, since COVID, that slowed down for us, but we're gradually ramping it back up. We actually now have one scheduled for April 15th, and it is very important for us to get out into the community. That's also the exciting part about it for us, is that it gives us an opportunity to bring some of our Getting Ahead folks in and actually participate in presenting that material to the community, so they can actually see the effect that our program has.
Yeah, very much so. Talk to me a bit about what your future looks like. What are the plans for future?
Well, I'm going to talk from a Master Key perspective, and then Marcia had a great observation, because she works with the Staying Ahead folks, and so she sees ahead for them. But from a Master Key perspective, we are now meeting in a church, and it's good, but we're outgrowing it. Lynn, our program has mushroomed. This past year, we added. We've always had child care, but this year we brought on a coordinator who actually works with our kids and has a program set for them every week. We also started a teen program this year, because our teenagers that came were just sitting in the corner on their phones, and it just didn't seem right. So we have actually two of, and actually our children's director is a graduate of Getting Ahead, and our teen directors are parents, or two parents graduates, and they are doing financial literacy starting in a week or two, and kind of looking at things teenagers need to know to get ahead before they have to get ahead. But as far as where we're headed, we would really like to. Master Key is really working now at a building fund to try to get a standalone building so that we can meet in our own facilities. Right now, we're bringing things in and out in tubs every week, and it's a wonderful place to meet, but we would love to have our own home. So hopefully we'll have our own home, and at that point we want to start adding programs. Like, there's a big need here for one is Spanish, for Getting Ahead in Spanish, and so we want a Spanish language Getting Ahead program. We also would like to have a Getting Ahead when you're getting out program, and Tricia actually is already certified in that, and so we would love to be able to get that program going. And that's one of the things we're really looking forward to. But Marcia, why don't you talk about your vision for the Staying Ahead folks?
What I see for Staying Ahead is that those that have been in the class, graduated, and are staying ahead get focused and get their mindset on continuing to be out of poverty, using the tools, the skills, the resources from the community. Lots of the students or investigators didn't know that the community is here for our use. That's what it's there for. We've had people to have their houses built, people to have resources to get houses, resources to get more wealth. jobs. People that have been in the classes are getting jobs or continuing to advance their life skills. And so I see from getting ahead and staying ahead the way that the investigators will get their lives back on the track they'd like to have it growing and to be very successful. And we see as a part of the facilitators and co-facilitators, we see the fruits of the labor of this program is really advancing. It is growing and helping others. And word of mouth from this program is growing.
Yes.
We have lots of people interested, and we have to continue with the classes and lead others to the next class because it's so far advancing.
So oftentimes when people hear about getting ahead and they're thinking about it, they're like, well, I don't know. I don't know if this would be a helpful thing. So as you think about your journey from deciding to go into the getting ahead classes to graduating, what kind of feedback would you give for individuals that are thinking about becoming an investigator?
Well, I would tell them it is so worthwhile. Going through the class, I didn't realize, one, how much of the community did not know about poverty and those in poverty. As a person being in poverty, I can speak very well on it. I can give them the insight they need. And two, they were so willing to help us come out of poverty. What we needed, they were there to help as a community as a whole, to let the investigators know that they are there. And also a person that's interested in the class, I would let them know that if you have any signs or any willingness to help yourself, your family, others, people you love, you will take this class. My neighbor has graduated from the last class, and she tells me all the time how appreciative that she was that one of the other graduates invited her to come, that she's using the skills and she really appreciates it.
You got anything to add on that, Allison?
Well, I just know that my life has changed 180 degrees. I'm not the same person. I'm more confident. I'm taking Toastmasters. I have goals as far as reaching people and telling them my story. And the book is going to be published, so I'm learning how to speak, and I'm very excited about my future.
For me, I love this class, and I love teaching this class. And going forward, I would really like to develop programs with my social work degree. And I use it pretty much every class that I take, giving out the point of view of a person in poverty, which a lot of providers do not understand in the mental health realm of the world. So I like being able to speak upon it and teach others behind me what would they need to know to help this specific population within the mental health system.
Thank you. You speak truth. Many people don't understand, and so they have to be educated. Yeah. All right. Any last things you'd like to share? You want us to know? Something I should have asked?
I'd like to say that I have truly found with this getting ahead and staying ahead that it is more than just to come to a room, sit with a book, get some information. It's a family. It's a growing process. The people that I've graduated with and classes after that, we stay together. We keep in contact. We help each other. We kind of mentor each other. We motivate each other, keep each other going. Yeah. Even the facilitators, they work with us. They're willing to stay with us. And we don't just drop people off. They don't just go amongst themselves. We help them, guide them, and we learn from them. They learn from us. And we enjoy the information and knowledge that we've learned.
All I can say is that I'm home now. Truly.
Great.
And I'm going to add one thing, because Master Key is a ministry. And one of the resources that we spend a lot of time on are spiritual resources. And we try to impress upon people that without that hope and something bigger than yourself, and without that sort of divine inspiration, you could be getting ahead, but you could be getting ahead in the wrong direction. So what we try to do is focus on getting ahead God's way. And so that's part of how our curriculum works.
Got it. Thank you. Thanks to all of you for sharing, letting me get to see a little bit of your lives and what's happening there. And let me know. Keep me informed. I want to keep up on what's happening in your community.
Okay, Lynn, we'll do that. And thank you for this time, and thank you for getting ahead and just making such a difference in our community.
Yeah, I'll pass it back on. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.